Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Had a great day. I want to make this video because since Ford is coming out with this Ford Mustang GTD, a lot of people keep talking about online, where is this new Ford Mustang GT500? Where could it be, Austin? Is it coming over the horizon? Is it that green covered Mustang we saw teased a little bit ago? Yes, I think GT500 is such a legendary name. It appeals to so many people. When you see the name, they go, oh my gosh, I'm excited to see what is the next version of that. Consider what GT500 gives you. It is a high horsepower supercharged Mustang that doesn't break the bank. It doesn't cost $200,000. It doesn't cost $300,000. It doesn't even cost $150,000. It's less money than the C8 Z06, and it's got 760 horsepower. Well, we want to see the next one of that with newer technology, with the next generation Mustang. Who wouldn't want to see that? In my opinion, though, here's why I don't think it's going to come out in the same facet or way you think it will. When you create this GTD Mustang, well, it's an 800 horsepower Mustang. Technically, so far, it's about 40 horsepower more than the $80,000 to $100,000 Shelby GT500. What are you getting for the extra 40 plus horsepower? You're also getting tons of carbon fiber all over the vehicle and a new transaxle design. Inherently, though, the motor, from what we can tell so far, is very similar to what we had on the GT500. Where else is the $200,000 going? It's going to a hand-built, a creation, a factory that is not actually in Dearborn. There's a lot to it, but it's not going to be too differentiated if a brand new Mustang GT500 comes out, which also features a dual clutch transmission, which also features enhanced aerodynamics, like the rear wing off the GT4 Mustang we had back in, 2017 to 2020. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know where the margin is anymore, where Ford can really pull out a whole new model that's high horsepower and still have the GTD be as appealing as it is. Because the framework is, if you want one end of the spectrum, that being the track car Mustang GT in a equipped variant, it's a dark horse. Then if you want to buy the all-out supercar, 800 horsepower supercharged Mustang, it's the $325,000 Ford Mustang. Where could a 800 or 760 horsepower GT500 fit? Because people would look at it and go, why would I just buy this and not buy the GTD, because I'm getting the same amount of horsepower, and do I go to the track? Right? Does that make sense? I know the GTD features an incredibly new design body. There's a shell that is incredible suspension technology and active aerodynamics. But if you create a GT500 that is an evolution based off the GT500 that we had before, obviously the next generation GT500 would have to be an evolution. They'd have to improve upon it somehow. Look at the C8 Z06 versus C7 Z06. It has a naturally aspirated motor, yes, but it's got more horsepower, and they had to do more horsepower, because what is the point of making a less horsepower newer gen model which is supposed to make things better over time? If you have a 2024 or 5 or 6 GT500 and it has the same motor out of the GTD, what else would differentiate them? Yes, carbon fiber for the bodywork, but the chassis underneath is the exact same. Then you would have a Tremec dual clutch transmission. The GTD has a transaxle, but it's also a dual clutch, so shift time is basically the exact same. Suspension obviously would not be as good, but it's still very good. The magnetic ride control in the GT500 is capable of very fast lap times. You get my point here? It's really hard to find a good marketing position they can plot that new GT500 in. What do you think? Could it work? Yes, there's demand for an 800 horsepower, 760 plus horsepower Mustang after the GT500s. Those cars sold beyond well. People love those cars. I see them being driven all the time, especially at track days. It's incredible the following those cars have right now. If you consider this GTD, though, it's $325,000, and it's definitely the evolution of the GT500. Where could this high horsepower Mustang go? I would say, here's what I would say actually. They could go at it a different way. Look at how Corvettes do in their cars. They have the naturally aspirated baseline Stingray, the base car. Then they have the Z06, a naturally aspirated track car. Well, Ford already kind of has that, right? They have the Dark Horse. And when they had the GT350, Did they make the Mach 1 alongside it? I don't think they did. I thought the GT350 ended and the Mach 1 came out. There was their new naturally aspirated track car. If you look at how those cars were positioned, there were distinctive items. Then there was this supercharged Mustang. Ford has never really gone the route of making a dedicated drag racing Mustang, have they? I know that there's so much they could do here. Or they could even adopt what Chevrolet is doing with their Corvette E-Ray. Imagine Ford throwing in electronic tech in the trunk space. Then they did a hybrid assisted drag racing Mustang, giving you instant torque down low in the RPM. It could work. It could work. I'm very curious. What do you guys think? In my opinion, everything Ford is doing right now, I believe they're trying to make a new legacy. They've been living in their legacy for such a long time now. Yes, they've been making incredible cars, but these cars have been worthy of their own brand name, of their own unique storyline. When you continue to have a GT500, a Shelby GT350, all these vehicles over and over again, when are you expanding the scope of the brand? When are you introducing a new name where in 50 years from now, it's going to be looked at in the same light as the previous one? This could be Jim Farley and his team thinking we should make some new brand recognition, some new names out there, similar to what Dodge is doing with their Demons, their Red Eyes, the Trackhawks. All these are unique new names. Yet, are they at any disadvantage against Ford using the Shelby name? I would argue no. I would argue they're selling fantastically. They're selling so well. Ford has every opportunity here to get Mustang in the GT3, to race against Porsche and all these incredible brands out there, Ferrari, and use that to build a whole new storyline for Mustang. In my opinion, I think what they're doing right now, creating the GTD and the Dark Horse, these are new names. And if we continue to look forward, I believe new names are very refreshing to have on the block. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Will Ford make a new Mustang Shelby GT500? In my opinion, it doesn't look like it would fit right now. Yet, I will admit a high horsepower four-door Mustang would definitely sell, and there's definitely an audience bracket for that. If you enjoyed this video, again, please hit the like button, subscribe for much more great content coming out your way, and hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the new videos coming out. I'll see you in the next episode.